guys, welcome back to hairdryer treatment with me, Soph. So a big game coming up today for Manchester United. Obviously we're playing Leicester away. I've got bad memories of the King Power, to be honest with you. I'm scarred by the past games where we had the likes of Di Maria, who scored that fantastic goal, Di Maria little dink, and then obviously Falcao was playing as well. But then of course in the same game we had Tyler Blackett playing, who got sent off. Jamie Vardy had a party, and I'm just hoping that we're not going to have a similar outcome today. Obviously Ollie at the moment is flying. A bit of a disappointing result against Burnley midweek, yes. However, we fought back and we probably gained a point rather than losing two, should I say. So I think, yes, spirits are still high, a bit of a wake-up call for us midweek. But we can't underestimate this Leicester team today, because let's not forget they have taken points, even beaten some of the big guns in the league this season. I know they've dropped points against silly little teams as well. They are a bit inconsistent, but against the big teams, let's not forget the fact that they have taken points off them. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous, I've got to be honest. I'm a bit apprehensive. I'm scarred by the games in the past where Tyler Blackett got sent off, and Vardy had an absolute field day. But we are a different United team now, we've got to say that. And I'm hoping that we attack. I'm hoping that we play free-flowing football like we have been playing, because I think if we defend, we're just going to eat into their hands. We can't leave too much space in behind as well, because as we know, Vardy is electric. They've got a decent midfield, but I can see Pogba bossing this game today. I'm expecting another big game from him. I'm even predicting a goal from Pogba today. I think this is going to be Pogba's game. I think we need him to dominate in the middle, because as I say, they've got some decent midfielders in there. Again, I'm expecting a difficult one. Johnny, yes, this is live. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you are all well. I hope you're looking forward to the game as well. I'm obviously looking forward to it, but also I'm a bit nervous because of what's been going on. So yeah, Leicester, I'm hoping they bottle it today against us. I'm hoping that we're going to be too good for them, especially going forwards. I know they've got Maguire at the back, but realistically, going forwards, we should have enough to wrap their back for. And so for me, score prediction is a difficult one. I'm going to say a 3-1 win to United. I think we'll concede. I don't think we're strong enough at the back, and I think Leicester have got, as I said there, got a lot of energy going forwards. I think we'll concede, especially with Phil Jones up there. We can never be 100% confident. So 3-1 is my prediction. I'm going to say Pogba to score, Rashford, and I'm hoping for a Martial goal today as well. I hope he's going to celebrate his new contracting style and give us a worldie of a performance today. He should have a lot of confidence. He should be buzzing to play today, and I'm hoping that he's going to impress and he's going to get a goal to celebrate his new contract. That's what I want. I'm hoping we're going to have a party and not Jamie Vardy. I'm hoping it's going to be Martial and Pogba day today. So yeah, 3-1 is my prediction. Scared we're going to concede, but confident that we can still get the win. I'm confident we've got enough going forwards to cause them trouble. And yeah, fingers crossed. People are saying now we're going to get a clean sheet. I've just seen a comment saying we're going to lose as well. I'm not 100% confident. I think if we score early on, that'll definitely put us in good stead. I think the longer it goes on where we're drawing, the more confidence Leicester will get. I think we need a fast start today, try and get a goal early on, and I think it's all down to us then. I think we can definitely go into win. But I'm not underestimating this Leicester team. As I've said, going forwards, they've got a lot of pace in attack. We can't leave too much space in behind. And yeah, definitely very scared about it. What's your thoughts on Fellaini? Look, I said Fellaini, he always gave 100% when he played. He scored a lot of goals, important goals for United. But we played him completely wrong, in my opinion. He was relied on as a ball-playing centre midfielder. That's not his game. He's the kind of guy that you bring on towards the end if you're in need of a goal to cause havoc in the back four. And let's face it, when he was pushed forward, like I say, he scored important goals. He did make himself a handful. However, if that's all you've got to the game, then realistically he's not a United quality player. And I wish him all the best. Thank him for all the goals that he scored. He just was never a United player, and I think that's that really. I'm just gutted we didn't get more money for him from the Chinese league, if I'm being honest. But yeah, happy he's gone, and that's no disrespect to him. I just think he wasn't especially under Solskjaer now, that's not how we play. And he was never going to make it as a holding midfielder at United, as a ball-playing midfielder for sure. That was never going to happen. So yeah, right move for him to go, definitely. But I don't agree with all the disrespect, people slating him and things like that. I also don't agree with the fact that he didn't thank the fans in his tweets. I think that was wrong as well. I know he's had a lot of stick, but there was definitely a lot of fans who backed him. So I thought that was kind of wrong as well. But maybe that's me looking into things a bit deeper than I should do. But I wish him well in the future. I wish him all the best. Do you think Sanchez will score the winner today? I hope so. I hope he does. I'm hoping we see like a new Sanchez underneath under Solskjaer. I'm hoping that he's buzzing with confidence. I'm hoping that we see more of the style of player that we saw at Arsenal. His goal against Arsenal was fantastic, his movement for it, and obviously the finish as well. Let's not underestimate that. The angle was almost impossible. So I think that's the kind of Sanchez we need to see more of. The Sanchez who's clever, intelligent, gets on the ball more though, and attacks players for me. I don't see enough of that Sanchez. And that's what makes me question whether he has lost a bit of pace, because he doesn't seem to attack fullbacks especially, but he doesn't seem to run at players as much as he used to. So I want to see more of that Sanchez, the bit of Sanchez that we saw at Arsenal, where he'd get the ball, grab the game by the scruff of the neck and lead by example. And like I say, he scored a fantastic goal against Arsenal. His movement was really clever and the finish was great. However, we need to see more of that on a consistent basis. So if he comes today and he scores the winner, I'm all for that, of course I am. You don't turn into a bad player overnight, of course you don't. But it's that question about whether he's lost his legs, whether he's lost a bit of pace since he was at Arsenal. That's the one that's worrying me, because he's not as direct as he used to be. So 3-1 is my prediction. Let me know what your predictions are. Drop some comments in, guys. Let's have a bit of a chat about it. Also, what kind of lineup are you expecting today? I saw a few people saying they're expecting Delo to start. Personally, I can't see that. I think Ashley Young will still start, to be honest with you. I think he's Mr. Reliable. Yes, he's not the best defensively, but I think he'll still play him there. I think that's definitely one area we've got to strengthen, of course it is, but for now I think he's the go-to man at full-back, so I think he'll play right back today, Ashley Young, and I can't see that changing. In terms of back four, I think Phil Jones will still start. I think Phil Jones will still be in there. But yeah, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we attack from the off today. Martial, I want him to be on it because obviously he's got a new contract. And I want him to be celebrating that with a goal. Jones, if Jones starts, I'm a cry. Jones will probably start, to be honest. Which I think is harsh because when Boye played the other day, he was fantastic. Lindelof, obviously the Iceman, he's superb at the back at the minute. No way is he being dropped. But Boye just seems to be dropped all the time, and I'm not sure why that is. I thought he was fantastic when he played the other day, but yeah, fingers crossed that's not going to happen. Boye does start, but Jones will start for me. Definitely Jones will be the one who starts. And that's why I've said we're going to concede, because you can't be 100% confident if you've got Phil Jones at the back. So I'm not 100% confident with Phil Jones at the back, and I think we'll concede a goal today, but I'm hoping that we score more at the other end. Hoping. We've got a young a little chant going on there. Congrats on 6k subs. I'm not quite there yet, so if you haven't subscribed, please do hit that sub button. I'm not far away though. Absolutely buzzing to reach 6k subs. Could never have imagined getting that far, and I obviously couldn't do it without you guys, so I really do appreciate your support. Do you think Valencia is finished at United? Yes, I think his legs have gone. He's too predictable. He does the same cross every time. I say cross, he's just a hopeful smash across the box. He struggles to get the yard of space to even do that cross now, so he 9 times out of 10 stops, passes the ball backwards, and he's too predictable, too boring. I think his time is done at United, and I think he will go in the summer. He just doesn't have the legs anymore for it. Miles says no trap start today. I considered it, Miles, but obviously United today. It's got to be United today. 2-0 win, calling it. You all watch the game, we will dominate the game. Jaden, I hope you're right. I would love us to dominate the game today, because I think it will show us exactly what we need to see, that we've gone up another level. Under Jose, this game I would not be confident at all, but I'm confident that we can outscore Leicester today. But as I say, shake it at the back. Is Martial fit? I believe so. I believe, obviously he didn't play midweek, and they said he'd be ready for the weekend, so fingers crossed that he is ready for the weekend and he's going to go and celebrate that new contract. Valencia's still got it, just not as fast, but he relied a lot on his pace, didn't he? And that's the question. And I think Young is very similar now. Young used to be able to find that yard of space to whip a ball in. Let's face it, Young has got a fantastic cross. And he used to be able to find the space and whip the ball in. He hasn't got the legs to find that yard of space anymore. Very rarely does he get that crossing. Normally hits the first man. And Valencia is very similar. I think they rely a lot on their pace. And let's face it, as well with Valencia, he's only got 1 foot. And if he hasn't got the pace to get around the outside to cross it in with his right, he's passing it backwards all day long. No way is he going to cut in on his left. He scored 1 banger, didn't he? Other than that, you'd never see him hit it with his left foot. So I think he's too predictable, too slow. And yeah, I can see that being the end for him now at United. Am I not going to the game? Well, let us know I am not. I did look at some tickets, but they're absolutely ridiculous prices. You're looking at least £200 a ticket for an away game nowadays. The Solskjaer effect, some people saying please bring Jose back so we can get some tickets, but I wouldn't change that for the world. Tickets are far too expensive, if I'm honest with you, for this game. Also, obviously, I normally play on a Sunday, but I'm currently injured. I've done my ankle ligaments, so I wasn't playing and I looked for a ticket, but just too expensive. I'm going to be watching it at home. That was harsh. It's not harsh, it's just true. It's true. I've got all the respect for Valencia, but it's just not good enough for me. Darren says, I've been really busy, I'll be in touch soon. Thank you, I appreciate that. We should get rid of Jones for £200. That's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh. United should make top 4. See, top 4 is still of Chelsea performed fantastically well yesterday. Higuain banging goals in. I've said it from the off, I think he's a very good signing for Chelsea. He's a natural goal scorer. He's definitely a better goal scorer than Morata. He's what you call a proper centre forward, and I just think he strengthens them even more, and you've got to be a bit concerned about them. However, the momentum is with us. If we can get a good result today, then of course top 4 is still on the cards. I am worried that we didn't strengthen in January. I can see why we didn't do that if the club obviously aren't still 100% on keeping Ole in charge. But good result today puts us in good stead, and I am feeling pretty confident still about top 4. But you can only beat what's in front of you. We've got a big run of games coming up, obviously with the FA Cup draw, PSG as well, some massive games in a short amount of time, and I think that will be the decider for us. A lot of squad rotation needs to happen, and realistically we've got a lot of deadwood in our team that you have to think, are they good enough to win those games? So what would your priority be though? Would you go for the FA Cup, would you go for the Champions League, or would you go for top 4? What's your priority as a United manager at the minute? And that's really where it's going to fall, isn't it? This is make or break for our season now. Callum says, I hope we win, but we definitely need to improve our defence and the right wing. Totally agree with that. United will be a goal fest today. I hope you are completely right. Top 4 and the FA Cup is what you would definitely aim for. Top 4, says someone else. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because top 4, realistically, before Solskjaer came in, was gone, wasn't it? We'd never thought we'd get top 4. So that was like a complete no-no. We thought to write the season off and we'd be focusing on a cup this season. But all of a sudden, after a good spell of results, we're thinking top 4 is doable. So now does that become priority? I think top 4 now is doable and we should be aiming for that. But maybe a cup run is what Solskjaer wants more. It depends what the club have set him for targets. I think now that it's in sight, we should be going for that top 4 so we can get back into the Champions League next season. A must win today, let's go for United. It is a must win, it's a massive game. Leicester, like any other club in the Premier League, whenever United come to town, they up their game, don't they? And they've already disrupted the rhythm of a lot of top teams. I hope we're not the next one on that list. Hopefully we can outscore them. Phil Jones, it's an accident waiting to happen. Already said that, that's why I think we'll concede. 3-2 prediction, not a bad prediction there. Solskjaer should be the full-time gaffer, completely agree with that. I've said that. Solskjaer is the man for United. He needs to be backed by the board though, because we haven't got a strong enough squad. Imagine what he'd do with better players. But, hi Roberto, thank you for tuning in. But for me, I can see why they're not 100% yet. Maybe top 4 is the priority. Maybe if he gets top 4, then that decision will be made for him to stay as permanent manager. For me, he's already done enough because top 4 was in the distance. We never thought we were getting top 4 until Solskjaer came in. All of a sudden, it's doable. So fingers crossed that Ole can get that and keep the job, because I would absolutely love it. And I've already mentioned about the tickets. Fans are obviously on his side because it's almost impossible to get away tickets, especially, and home tickets now. Away tickets are going for ridiculous prices. And that's all because of Solskjaer. When Jose was in charge, you could pick them up very easily. Not anymore. Why bother getting a new manager? Why tinker with something if it's not broken? And I completely agree with that. I think Solskjaer feels the most natural option for us. Since Fergie, realistically, this is the first time really I've felt content with the manager. David Moyes, there was a lot of doubt. Van Gaal, again, a lot of doubt. At times he made me laugh, yes. But thank you for the super chat, James. I really appreciate that. It says get top 4, anything else is a bonus. I completely agree with that. Yes, the top 4 is priority, but I think since Fergie, Solskjaer feels the most natural choice. I've never felt so content with a manager until him, so I think he's the right one. I know it's early days, we haven't beaten anyone, as people keep saying, but I just think, look at the squad that we've got. I'm hoping it's not a short-term thing where the players are just on confidence. When we lose will be the biggest test, because let's face it, we will lose at some point, and it's how we bounce back from that. And Burnley midweek, first time we've been behind, and the character and the spirit that we've showed to fight back I thought was phenomenal. I know we had a few comebacks under Jose, but it wasn't like that. Jose was very much hitting a hope. Shoved Fellaini up there to try and win something, whereas Solskjaer, we didn't change our way really. We constantly peppered their goal, constantly put pressure on their back four, and eventually all that pressure did pay off. I think if Rashford scored that chance early on, I think it would have been a very different game. But I do worry about this Rashford scenario, because I think if he's having an off game, like he did the other day, he didn't play very well against Burnley. If he has an off game, we then struggle to score goals. What if he gets injured? And I hate saying that, but it's true. What if he gets injured? What happens then? I don't want us to crumble a bit like Kane and Spurs. I don't want us to rely on that one player to break the deadlock, which is why we need players like Martial firing on all cylinders. Lukaku, I'd like to say as well, but I think he proved the other day he's not got much to his game. But I think, all in all, I think we do need strength going forwards. I don't think Lukaku's good enough, and I feel bad saying that because I wished him well. I wanted it to happen for him at United, but he's just not got the quality, and it's probably an unpopular opinion, but I think when Lukaku pulls out into that right channel, that is his best position. Not as a centre forward with his back to goal, as a kind of like a right forward running at players. A bit like where he had the assist for Lingard's goal against Arsenal. I think that's where he struggles. Holding the ball up is where he struggles. I think on the right hand side where he's attacking, that is where he gets more joy. So personally for me, play Rashford centrally, and if you want to play Lukaku, try him out on the right, but obviously you can't rely on him to track back because he ambles around a lot. He switches off too much during games as well. But Lukaku will get 20 goals this season. You're wrong in my opinion. I hope I am wrong. Fingers crossed he does, but I just can't. The way that we play at United, we rely on him to hold the ball up and link up the play, and he just doesn't seem to have that in his locker, which is why I'm saying I think when he's on the right hand side, that is where he's more effective. Mark says Lukaku with Lindelof at the back, that would pay to see, just imagine that. Lukaku's first touch is practically a clearance, so it probably will work, to be fair. Bring in Wan-Bissaka, very, very talented player, I must admit, Wan-Bissaka, but again, it's very early in his career, it's hard to say whether he will be good enough. At the minute, he's performing very well for Palace. He's a bit rash at times. He's very, very pacey. He's got a lot of skills as well. He is the kind of signing that we should be looking at, though. Young with a lot of potential. He obviously needs some coaching as well defensively. But it's a good shout. It's a good shout. Koulibaly, that's who I want as well, Steve. Manuel missed out on the Champions League this season. It's a tough one to call. I think it's a hard one because, like I say, we've got a big run of games coming up, and this is make or break for our season, really. Let's see how we come out of this clump of these games, and see where we go from there, really. I think that will tell us whether we'll get Champions League or not. Lukaku is about as effective as Fellaini, poor first touch. Actually, Fellaini, though, had a good first touch. That's one thing I will say about Fellaini, especially his chest control. There's no one in the world like him. Sophie, do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is here next season after Martial signs a new contract? I think they're still undecided. I think that's why he wasn't backed in the January transfer window. I think they still don't know if he's staying or not. I think they're still undecided, and yeah, I think personally, I would love him to stay, and I would have backed him in January. But as a business, you got to think realistically, they wouldn't have done that, would they? They wouldn't have backed someone who's not 100% staying, someone who they're not 100% about yet. That's what makes me think top 4 is the target now. If he gets top 4, he'll stay, and that's what it should be, really. Fellaini is a Premier League legend. Fellaini is just in a league of his own, isn't he? Just like a different player. He's not quite Crouch, is he? But he's tall, lanky, can hold the ball up, wins a lot of headers, scores a lot of goals, winning headers. But that's it, really, that's it. And that's why we played him wrong. He's not a ball-playing centre midfielder, for sure. Lol Fellaini. If we play our first team today, we win the game. No doubt Leicester will sit back and try to catch us on the counter 100%, which is why we can't leave too much space in the world, because, to be honest, Vardy, let's face it, if he's up against Jones, Jones will make a mistake. We can't rely on that. And I think we should have Boye, because I remember when Boye pocketed Vardy, absolutely nailed him, didn't he, in the first few minutes with an awesome tackle. And then Vardy didn't want any of it, and I think that would be the choice that I would make today. I'd put Boye in just to nail him early on. It wouldn't give him any space to have a run at our defence. Leicester do play counter-attacking football, which in a way makes us vulnerable, because hopefully we'll be attacking them. And I'm just hoping that we outscore them today. I think it'll be a tight one, but I'm hoping that we still come out winners. I think they'll score for sure, but I think we'll still get the best result, hopefully. But when Will Greenwood get a run out, it's still impressing me week in, week out. Obviously, he's banging in goals for fun. All of his goals are different types of goals as well, which is impressive about him. I would love to see him in the first team soon. I've already said how much I think we rely on Rashford's goals. We can't do that. He's not consistent enough for us to do that. And also, touch wood, it doesn't. But if he does get an injury, then obviously I fear for us, because Lukaku hasn't been firing on all cylinders, and we lack, when Rashford isn't in the team, we lack a lot going forwards. We lack that movement into the channels. We lack his energy pressing down the defence from the front. He starts the press for us, and that's something Lukaku cannot do. So I think we rely on him a bit too much at the minute. Sanchez and Lukaku should never start for United again. Poor. Sanchez and Lukaku, though, against Arsenal were fantastic, and that's what annoys you as a United fan, because they've showed that they have got the potential, but they're not doing it week in, week out. Penalty Vardy and that massive forehead Maguire will be their only threat today. Yes, I'll probably agree with that. I think, is it Maddison? I think he's a very good signing for them as well. I think he's a bit underrated. Came out from the Championship from Norwich, I believe, and I think he's been really good for them this season. I think we need to keep an eye on him today. His movement is impressive, and he's got an eye for goal as well. I think Maddison should be one of the ones to watch. 3-1 United Leicester score first, and Tony to score twice. I hope you're right. Same score as me. I said 3-1. Get rid of Lukaku and Sanchez. I think one of them was bringing Jadon Sancho. Yeah, I did that on my career mode on FIFA. If you've watched that, that is exactly what I've done. I got rid of Lukaku and I brought Jadon Sancho in. Matic will keep Maddison quiet. I hope you're right. Do you think Tuanzebe could do Matic's job? I think Tuanzebe is a centre back, and that's the way it is. I've said he's doing well in the Championship for Villa, but realistically, if we're going to sign someone like Koulibaly, he doesn't really stand a chance at United. Let's be honest about it. The one player I mentioned yesterday on my Twitter was Connor Cody at Wolves. Connor Cody, I think, is a great centre half. Obviously, he was naturally in midfield. He got pushed back by Nuno, and he's been an absolute rock at the back. He reads the game incredibly well. He starts the majority of Wolves' attacks with his long range passing as well. Yeah, I think he's just an absolute great centre half. It was a great decision to push him back, but I think he's the kind of player who can push forward and play in that holding role as well. He's the kind of player who could play maybe the Matic role. Neves as well is another one who's fantastic. But I just wanted to touch on Connor Cody, because I think he should be in the England squad. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think he should be put into the next England squad. We lack players in that position, and I think he could nail down a starting spot there. Lukaku is poor, I agree with that. Top shirt, thank you very much. Do you think Foster Mensah has a future at United? No, I don't think he's good enough, and I know that's the unpopular opinion. He's got all the attributes, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to be developing for me. Yes, maybe he needs some better coaching, but no, I don't think he's good enough for United. I think he's too rash, out of position, makes some silly tackles at times, and I don't think he's good enough. Front three of Lukaku on the right, Rashford and Tony on the left. Yep, I would play that. I think he's better out wide. We can also do a scouting mission today on Mark's choice for our new CDM in Ndidi. Ndidi's a very, very good player. Yeah, I'd agree completely about that. Chat about PSG going to beat Man United soon. PSG is going to be a tough one, but you know what? Because Solskjaer's in charge, I'm feeling slightly more confident about it. Neymar is obviously out, but you've still got Mbappe and Cavani, Di Maria. There's still a lot of talent who's going to be running at the likes of Phil Jones, and that makes me very, very nervous. But I'm hoping that we can get a miracle and beat PSG, especially at home. I think we stand a good chance now. I think people are going to be surprised after that PSG game. I might eat my words, but I'm feeling more confident, definitely. Indeed, he isn't United quality, he's average. And that, it is a massive step up, isn't it? Massive step up from the likes of Leicester to United. You've got to admit it's a big step up, and has she got that talent? I'm not really too sure about that one. I'm not going to the game, sadly. As you know, I normally play on a Sunday, but I'm injured, so I'm not going. And also, the tickets were like ridiculous prices as well, I must say. Sophie, what do you think about Shaw against Mbappe? Luke Shaw is a talking topic in himself at the minute, isn't he? Luke Shaw, a lot of people saying he's not good enough. A lot of people said that he's just, I don't know, he's unfit and all this, and he's definitely not unfit now. He's definitely back fit. He's just got that kind of body, hasn't he? He describes himself as that Rooney type figure, but I think he doesn't do anything with 100% confidence. He doesn't look confidence at all, And I think everything that he does, he just doesn't look like he backs himself in it. Like, he had a shot against Burnley and it's just like he kind of shit himself before he did it. He's like really scared, and I just think that nothing looks 100% confident with Luke Shaw, and that's what scares me about him. I think when Memphis was there and he was obviously in the form of his life, it was fantastic, and I could see him improving and getting better and better and better. Memphis left, he obviously had his terrible injury as well, and he's never got back to that form at all. Yes, he's playing more consistently now, and of course I hope it works out for United and for England. But I'm still very undecided about Luke Shaw, and I know it's horrible to say because he did have an awful injury, but he just never seemed to bounce back from that. And sometimes players don't. And I think Luke Shaw might be one of them players. And it hurts me to say it, but I don't know if he is United quality. Like I say, he doesn't look 100% confident in anything that he does. Maybe that was because of the injury, but who knows. Right guys, I am going to shoot and get ready. Obviously, game coming up later on, buzzing for it. 3-1 United win is my prediction. I also predict that Martial is going to score to celebrate his new contract. Pogba is going to boss the game today and hopefully get a goal as well. And hopefully Rashi scores as well. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to Hairdryer Treatment. I'm almost on 6k, so fingers crossed I can reach that. I need your support, obviously, guys. Thank you for the super chat as well. I do really appreciate that. It means a lot. Take care, enjoy the game, fingers crossed for 3 points today for United, and yeah, have a good one. Cheers guys.